I've played The Sims for like a long time, but by play The Sims, it was always just like make a sim, make a super basic house, mess around in like sandbox mode for a little bit, and then I would usually get bored after my sim got married and had like a kid potentially, and I would just stop or I'd make like a new sim. But I moved to a new country, right? And I had nothing else going for me and like no friends here. So I got really into The Sims, especially like watching YouTubers and seeing like the heavily modded games. Because I don't know if you guys have ever touched like The Sims base game. It's not great on its own. I don't know how console players survive, but you need so many mods to make the game like fun and good in my opinion. But now that I'm doing that, and this is still like more and more mods along the way, just a little bit of modding, and the game's like really fun. So I've played a lot of hours, and I've actually started making a proper legacy. First ever legacy, yet to get bored. This is my Sims tree. I wanted to yap about my Sims, and I have no one to yap to, but I remembered I have free will and a YouTube channel, so I'm gonna yap here and show you guys my Sims tree. And maybe I'll end up uploading like Sims legacy videos in the future. Who knows? We'll see. But I'm on Gen 5 already. Just Gen 5. There's you can actually like look at other people's trees on this website, and there's like trees like this that are like Gen 59. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm getting nowhere near that. I am getting nowhere near Gen 50. I'm like I really don't think I'm making it that far. Like look at this. This is impressive. I applaud their dedication, not me. But we're gonna start at the beginning and try to go in chronological order, but I have like actual brain worms, so we'll probably end up jumping around anyway. This is the OG Sim, Valara, my namesake. Every time I played The Sims in the past, I always just like made a sim that looked like her or like kind of like her. It was always basically the same sim I started with. And I cannot make male sims for the life of me. I'm getting a lot better now that I have more mods and CC installed, but I still suck at male sims. So she just married aged up Kiyoshi from the Snowy Escape pack because I think he starts as a teen, but I always just age him up so I can use him as fodder for my legacy. She married him, had Yunara. Yunara, a lot of these are league names because I do not claim to be creative, and I play a lot of ARAM, especially with ARAM Mayhem that's out now. So if you recognize these as league names, no, you don't. They're 100% original. She was kind of my first experience actually raising a child in the sim because I always stopped when they were just infants because like, yeah, I don't want to do this. This is like too much work. But this time I persevered. She was like an art hoe. She went to like an art college in Windenburg, and I wanted to make a femboy in my Sims world, so I actually made a femboy to be like her roommate. They had another roommate, but I didn't put her on the tree. Um, and I had the LGBT mod installed at this point by Lumpino, so she ended up being a lesbian, and I could not, for the life of me, find another NPC lesbian sim in my game. So she was single for quite a bit. And then the one girl kisser we find for her, finally. She takes on a date immediately, and they end up woohooing in the bathroom before the food even comes out. So that completely messed up the date because restaurants are buggy as hell in The Sims. So they ended up not actually finishing the date. But I was trying to play rotational gameplay at this point, like jumping between households. So I was like, okay, sure, whatever. I guess we have like a relationship going for her. And then I was playing with Set. And Set, lovely, lovely baby boy, kind of ugly because he's my first actual attempt at making a male sim, so just ignore the fact that he's kind of ugly. His dad's actually Lou Howell. I don't remember. I think it was like a situationship my sim had going with Lou because she was technically still married at this point. But Lou Howell, I love him. He's from the Werewolf Pack. Makes also really cute kids. Like Set was so cute as a kid. Right, my brain just like shut down. Whatever. I had the teen delinquency mod by a Deep Indigo. I believe it's by a Deep Indigo. If not, I'll just correct it on screen. I had the teen delinquency mod, and I kept trying to get him to go to juvie because I was like, oh, right, Set, crime boss, hee hee. So I kept trying to get him sent to juvie. It wasn't really working because he's like too good of a child. I mean, I maybe got him some like underage drinking charges, but that was about it. But because I was having him go to like clubs and such so much, he ended up having like one night stands with like two different streetwalkers. That's a whole different situation I got going on. Don't question me. Anyway, one night stands. I didn't realize that they had gotten pregnant, but that's a different thing. Back to Yunara. Not back to Yunara, actually. Back to Ari. Yeah. My sim had a surprise baby, and I had the paternity drama mod installed by Lumpino as well. And I didn't actually know who the baby's dad was, but but Kyoshi got like super paranoid about it and started blaming my sim and being like, "Oh, that's not my kid," like blah blah blah. So they got in a fight. He actually like hit her and then set because I have the brawling monster set like started a fist fight with Kyoshi. So then he ended up getting kicked out. They got a divorce. The kid ended up being his anyway. Um, but you also notice the baby is still like an infant on this tree and they're grayed out. Why is that? My sim finally, after being caged inside the house taking care of these damn kids, I let her go out on her own for a day and we went to like some bar or whatever. Got back, the baby had died from overheating because he left her outside on the back porch in the middle of like a heat wave. So she died from overheating, and then all the drama happened where they got into a fight and like Set beat the shit out of Kyoshi and then kicked him out, and my sim got a divorce and all that stuff. Um, at that point, Set was like going to juvie because I think he had his hearing coming up, and then he ended up getting sent to juvie. So he was also out of the house at this point. Back to Yunara. I leave for a little bit to go play with Set's household after he already had the kids. And Yunara had moved in, the first ever girl kisser she ever met and went on one date with. She let just move into her university dorm. Sure, fine, whatever, not beating the allegations. Um, so she had a whim pop up above her head that she wanted to have a baby. So like, oh, it's a bit early for that, but whatever. Sure, Set already has two kids. We might as well get Yunara started as well. Had the science baby, got home from picking up the science baby, and then her girlfriend starts a fucking fight with her. Probably about the baby, I don't know. Started a fight. They ended up breaking up. So I was like, yeah, I can't keep her in the house anymore. Kicked her out of the house. So now she's just alone raising a baby. Well, not alone. She's in her university housing, which is also kind of important because the donor for the baby was actually her femboy roommate because I was like, I really like him and I want him on the tree. So he was the donor for Lilia. And I don't think Yunara wanted the baby as much as I thought she did because she barely did anything to raise it. Lilia was mostly raised by the femboy, and that was like 90% of it was him raising her. He was just supposed to be a donor, so like congrats to him. He really stepped up. But like damn, Yunara, you could have done something to help. Back to Set. You may notice one of these on the tree is not a league name, and that's because I have the MCC setting that Sims who are related to your played households, the naming thing pops up so you get to name them, and it doesn't like give them a random name or something if they're not your currently active Sim. And I didn't realize that the pop-up I was getting was for a, like one of my kids. I was like, why is it having me name this random child? Sure, whatever. So I just named her Dahlia, and this is her mother here, like the top one. So I just named her Dahlia. And then I got another pop-up the same day, which I don't know why it was the same day because I'm pretty sure he slept with these two on different days, but whatever. Okay, Sims. And I was like, wait a minute. These names are kind of familiar. I think they might be the two random streetwalkers. And then I realized, oh, these are Seth's kids. I didn't realize he had them. So then I named the next one Jace. But they were the same day. Same day kids. So after he got back from juvie, I moved him into like an apartment in San Myshuno, and he was raising like the toddlers because I they were with their mothers until they were toddlers because he was in juvie. Haha, as it goes. And he had a childhood friend, Aphelios, because I refuse to have Set with anyone who's not Aphelios. Sue me, who cares? But they were raising these toddlers in San Myshuno, and they were so cute with these toddlers. I wish I had the growing together back. I wish I had the growing together pack at this point, but I didn't because this was before all the packs went on sale, so I didn't have that many. They were such cute kids. I was obsessed with them. This is actually the generation I have the most photos. I downloaded Pose Player and all of these other mods and all these like photo poses and stuff like that to be able to take proper photos and screenshots of them because I love these two so much. They are my babies and I love them. But Dahlia, also a girl kisser. I have a lot of girl kissers in this family. Like I don't know what that's about. She just did not show any like any even the smallest smidge of interest in romance with like anybody her entire life, which was really weird. But I guess that's fine. I had enough on my hands with Jace. He's a whole another mess that we'll get into in a second. But we went to a Halloween party. We like I'm there with them. Not me being parasocial with my Sims, but they went to a Halloween party, and there was like a tobacco vending machine from like the basemental mods, and it was just in the lot because it was like this underground train station that I made like all cyberpunky for Halloween. And she had bought like a vape from the machine that I didn't fully realize that she bought. So she developed like a really bad vaping addiction. It was just like constantly vaping. Whatever, man, you do you. That's fine. You could be doing other things. Vaping is not so bad, I suppose. But Jace, my darling baby, he was such a sweet baby cry boy. And then I don't know what happened to this kid, but he turned into like a teen. And then I started doing like rock star stuff with him because he was interested in like the guitar and like music and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'll download like Road to Fame and like the World Tour mod and stuff like that and do like rock star things. He just went off the rails. You know, most people they get famous, they develop like a drug problem. No, he just became like kind of a man whore. Like I don't even have all of them on here because I was like, okay, this is getting ridiculous, and I had to take them all off. But at one point, there was like 9 Sims on here because I put all of his flirtation. This is literally a Sabrina Carpenter Sim I have in my world. There was he would just flirt with any woman walking by him, and you know those attractiveness pop-ups where it's like, oh, this is the most jaw-dropping sim that your sim has ever seen. He was getting those constantly. Like, bro, I understand I have a lot of pretty townies in my game. That does not mean that every single sim you meet is like destined for you. The one, the only, the most beautiful goddess to walk this earth. Bro, chill, please. But eventually got him married. He did in fact sleep with both her mother, who is like the sim at the top here, her sister, who I did not put on here. Oh, actually, I did. Her no, that is that her mother or her sister? Whatever. He slept with her mother, her sister, and then also her sister-in-law, who is currently still alive in my file. Her sister-in-law. So he was just running through her entire family, but they did in fact get married. So I'm proud of him. I guess. Woohoo. She later dies in a fire, but we'll get to that in a second. They're just popping out kids. Bro, popping out kids. They have 4 kids before she dies in a fire when Lux is like, I think, a child at that point. Ezreal and Silas are the first kids. They're actually twins, but they really don't look like twins. I kind of wish the twins were a bit better in Sims, in the Sims 4 at least. Like I wish they just auto-generated looking similar, like twins. They're supposed to be twins. I didn't bother to make them look similar because I usually just edit the auto generation features in my legacy. I try not to like change them too much because I still want them to be a mix of their parents. Whatever, they're fraternal twins. They're fraternal twins. Ezreal is gay. Love that. He did get married to like his childhood friend. And I moved them out of the house to make space for my next generation. And so they moved into the apartment in the city with Dahlia where she was still living because I kind of just like at this point I've given up on rotational gameplay because I don't have the attention span for that. So I kind of just like moved them into a different played household that I'm not actually messing with just to like keep them somewhere else to make space. But after I move him into the other household, he autonomously divorces his husband. I have no idea what that's about or why that relationship fizzled out, but like, sure, whatever, go ahead. Haven't actually seen what he's been doing since. I should really check up on him. Silas is probably gonna be my heir. He is my heir, honestly. He's already given me Gen 5. He's my heir. Silas had like an on off thing with like his childhood best friend, who, by the way, is evil, sinister, and like heartless. I think were, or no, sinister is a personality archetype. Her traits were like evil, heartless, and I think like active or something. She was an evil little girl, evil little girl. But so was Silas, because he had beef with like everybody in town, even as a child. He was just throwing hands left and right. He had negative relationships with like every single sim he would meet, which was so funny to me. So they got along really well. They woohooed like once when they were teenagers, and then Silas goes home from like the date they were on, and a couple days later, I was like, it's almost Thanksgiving, so I'll invite her over to the house just to like, catch up with her, make sure the relationship doesn't deteriorate. She shows up to the house and she has the little like baby bottle pop up above her head. I was like, wait a minute. Normally the Sims get that if they're, huh. So I use MCCC and I check and I was like, oh my god, she's pregnant. Uh, okay, sure. I swear I got the Wicked Whims pop up that they used protection, but okay, fine. I move her into the house because I can't let my heir be living in a wherever. I think she was actually homeless at that point, because a lot of my Sims are homeless Sims. So I move her into the house to have the baby, and we had Gwen. I don't know how Sims genetics work, or like if werewolves just curse your entire lineage, because Gwen somehow got the werewolf trait from Lou Howell, like 4 generations back. Set didn't get the werewolf trait, Jace didn't get the werewolf trait, Silas didn't get the werewolf trait, but somehow Gwen is the werewolf? Okay, sure. But she gets the werewolf trait, and then there I was planning to wait till they became young adults, because this is a teen pregnancy. Like, they were teens. I was planning to wait till they became adults to like, or young adults at least, to get them engaged and then get them married. So she was still living with us. And Jace, after his wife dies in a fire at the damn funeral, he gets the attractiveness pop up about her, about Gwen's mother, his own son's girlfriend slash baby mama. He gets the attractiveness pop up, and I was like, oh my god, dude, you're literally at your wife's funeral. Can you please chill? Like, I get that you were like, dude, you were quickly going from like my favorite sim of all time to just being like a menace I want dead already. But whatever. I kind of forget about that. They all go home. At some point, I wasn't watching because I think I was playing with like Kane or something. Um, they're just woohooing. Like Jason, the baby mama, are just woohooing. And I was like, oh my god, this can't be real. So I have her immediately go take a pregnancy test, because I was like, yeah, we gotta do something. She's pregnant. Like, okay, okay, fine, sure, whatever. Go ahead. Not like I care. This isn't messing up my game at all. Sure. And to make matters worse, because she's evil, or at least I assume it's from the evil trait, it could be something else, whatever. I have Silas like go and like do like the ask if pregnant and like blah blah blah, confront her. Um, they fight, they break up. Jace autonomously goes over to ask her something about her pregnancy, whatever, but he gets the moodlet about like the baby not being his. So she must have autonomously lied to him, saying that the baby was not his. Because I did check MCCC. He was the father. He was the father. You are the father. But she must have autonomously lied to him. So whatever. That was a whole mess. I was like, okay, this she lied to Jace, and also like, this is gonna mess up my tree. I don't want my tree to be that circular. This isn't the damn Targaryens. So like I kick her out of the house. I think she gets rid of the baby autonomously, because I don't remember making her do that. But anyway, the baby's never born, so there's an unborn child here that's between the two of them. I tried to get Silas with his other childhood friend that he had really good compatibility with, but for some reason, I would go to check, and this might be a Sims thing or it might be one of my mods. I would go to check, and their relationship would be like back down to 0, and I had to keep like really keep them connected. And at one point, I wasn't paying close enough attention, and they just broke up out of nowhere, and their relationship was just entirely gone. So I don't know what that was about because they had really good compatibility. And I kind of liked her. I gave her a makeover and everything, but I was like, okay, fine, whatever. He's busy enough raising his kid. I guess he'll just be a single father for now. Until Eden came along. I love her. She was one of my townies that MCCC pulled into my game from my gallery. And they're kind of cute together. He really has a type. He really has a type, honestly. Like the white hair. Maybe this Gen 5 is just gonna be like my Targaryen dynasty. I'll just no more League characters. It's all like a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms and Game of Thrones names now. We'll see. And they got married and they had Jaina. So she's still living. Jaina's a toddler at the moment. She's super cute. I actually really love her. I don't know where Gwen's pink eyes came from because Silas has like really dark brown eyes and Josie, the baby mama, has like hazel eyes. So I have no idea where the pink eyes came from. But Cain has the same thing. He was born when the twins were toddlers. He has the same thing. His eyes are purple. Where did that come from? No one in his lineage has purple eyes. So I don't know why Sims will just sometimes get like pink and purple eyes, but I kept them anyway. Whatever, sure. He's also gay. You'll notice like two of these are the same thing. He just slept with Ezreal's boyfriend for the love of the game. He has not since looked twice at another sim in a romantic light ever. He does not give a shit about romance. He's just doing his own thing, talking to himself in the mirror half the time. He slept with Ezreal's boyfriend for the love of the game, and I gotta applaud him for that. Cause honestly, that's like king behavior. And then they had Lux, who was actually born quite a bit after, and I did not want a fourth kid, especially when all the other kids were still in the house. But sure, whatever. They had Lux. I was kind of excited for a girl, especially because I wasn't sure yet if uh like any of my Sims were gonna be straight. Because like Silas didn't have Gwen at this point because I think they weren't yet teenagers. They might have been children. So they didn't get a sexualities assigned. I was like, what if none of my heirs turn out to be straight? So I was excited to get a girl because I don't really. Man, I should fix this problem and just have like mpreg in my in my Sims game. Is there like an mpreg mod other than like the alien babies? Whatever. She had a boyfriend, and I was like, okay, Lux is gonna be the responsible one. She's gonna grow up to young adult, get married, and then have a kid when she's a young adult and married. Nope, teen pregnancy, pops out a baby. First time woohooing. Sure, whatever, fine, go ahead. Not like I care. I don't know why all my Sims are teen parents. Fine, sure. I'm I want to have a generation that is not a teen. Actually, no. Jace was a young adult and married before he had kids. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Not all my Sims are teen parents. Jace may have been a whole other host of problems, but at least he wasn't a teen parent. They had Victor, and like, why is Victor kind of like he kind of eats like he's just a child, but like his face kind of pops off. I'm hoping he ages up well. Like I really do. He might, as much as I want Jaina to be my heir, Victor might end up being my heir if he ages up like really good looking. But I kind of want a female heir for the next one, considering I went like male, male, male. I kind of Jaina's probably gonna be my next heir. This is my chaotic ass Sims game so far. Oh! I completely forgot about Kaisa. God, everyone forgetting about Kaisa. I completely forgot about Kaisa. After Ari and like after these two had already moved out and like had, I think Jason and Dahlia were already toddlers at this point. Um, they actually had Kaisa. She was a complete surprise baby. I think she might have actually been conceived before. Who's her dad? Kiyoshi. Okay, yeah, she actually was conceived before Kiyoshi got kicked out of the house. And I think after they divorced, my sim realized she was pregnant again, I think. But her dad is Kiyoshi. She is kind of a mess. You may notice a glaring issue here. After the divorce and after everything that happened, Lou just kept like coming out to hang out with my sim at the house because why not? And eventually they autonomously got married. Like he moved in autonomously, and then they got married at some point. So he was Kaisa's stepfather, and they aged up to elderly. and Kaisa was a teenager at this point. I was at their house preparing to have like the big family Thanksgiving by having my sim cook like a bunch of food and everything the day before, and Kaisa's just woohooing in the back with Lou, her elderly stepfather. What a mess, dude. I know the game assigned her to be pansexual, but I did not realize pansexual meant sleeping with your elderly step parents, Miss Kaisa. Why would you do that? So she's kind of just been forgotten about. I think most likely I I really don't have the energy for rotational gameplay, to be honest. So I've kind of just been picking an heir after like teenage-ish years, whichever of like my children is the most interesting. I end up following as the heir. Um, because I tried to give the rest of them families like with Lilia, but it's just too much for me to handle. So we'll see. We'll see. We may do rotational. We may just do like continuing to follow the heir. But like maybe I'll end up uploading my Sims legacy stuff to YouTube. Who knows? I just wanted to yap. I missed yapping. I missed yapping. Thanks for entertaining me.